Hey, welcome to Los Teachers. And thank you everyone for grabbing your mobile phones, your laptops, your tablets, your iPads, whatever. You just name it. I appreciate it that you taking a few minutes to check out this video, this interview. And as you guys know, my name is Robinson Lamo, and welcome to Los Teachers. Today we have a special guest. We have with us Domingo Reyes. I remember Domingo from being a colleague at a really old school here in Vega, Sunset Tech. It was early 2000s. Don't ask me when, but yeah, it was like in the early 2000s. So, Domingo, welcome. It's my pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And how you been?
So far, I feel very good, thanks God. And really, I appreciate your invitation to participate in this interview. And I am really pleased being here.
You know that it's my pleasure. And I invited you because the reason of all these videos is to foster and motivate English speaking. You know that we've been in the industry, in the business for a few years, and what I've seen the most, it's people who struggle to speak. Lots of them, they know a lot of grammar. They are outstanding at reading and grammar, but producing, it's a fail.
Yes, I agree with you with these points, because through the time, by using English language or using ESL language, English as a second language, I realized that lots of people that really study English are facing this kind of situation by not being fluent.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of good grammar knowledges. They have a lot of sometimes good pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
They understand and translate everything they hear. But sometimes they have difficulties by speaking fluently, because the reason I have seen and realized is that most of the English students, sometimes they don't have practice enough. They don't have the environment adequate just to use their English. So as we live abroad from places where English is the origin, that is one of the most important reasons why people don't have that kind of, experience, and that is lacking. They lack a lot of good ways of speak. So I consider that is one of the most important points that we have to face as teacher who deals with people that want to learn English, in a proper way.
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't have the materials. We don't have the environments appropriate so that they can develop themselves in that language. But I see that sometimes we have to use certain skills to make them to go that way. One of my experience is that I have been using exposition in class from lower and basis. From basis classes, I used to use a lot of exposition by family exposition, a lot of topics at their face. But I do that and make them to participate as a role, and then give me information from their own, so that they develop that way by confidence, and also they do that by creating their own environment for that thing.
Yeah.
So that's my point.
Yeah, I've seen that many teachers, ESL teachers, they use expositions as a way to promote speaking. It's a way to make learners produce their own ideas,
Exactly.
And gather all of these together in order to produce what you are asking or requesting them.
Exactly.
And like you said, it builds confidence. Most
They feel really, they feel really involved in the situation. They create like a theater scene, and they feel like they are really the stars of their own creation. That's what I do. Class for me right now is a place. I am not the teacher in class.
no.
I am the person who see the progress of my student, of what they do themselves.
We just monitor.
Exactly. I usually tell my student, listen, you don't have teacher here. What you have here is somebody who is guiding you to get your achievements.
Yeah.
And then when I do that, I make my student to feel so comfortable in class that immediately they think, oh, I'm on my own way. And the thing is, when you create authority with the student in front of the student, that creates then a kind of space, a frontier where the student don't feel they are in a place where they want to be for learning.
Yeah.
So I've been breaking those old rules of teaching just to get and make the student feel they are really the actors of the English. And that is very good result. You get the result immediately. They feel they are doing a nice way.
You mean just face it to. You can just get it like closer to.
Okay, just to get more
grasp more of your voice.
More my voice.
So definitely, I agree 100% with your thoughts, your ideas. That's because learners, they want to prove themselves and others that they are progressing. If they show progress, if you give them, if you let them understand that they are making step by step, they're getting progress. Because many people, they don't get that languages, English in our case, they produce by chunks and they learn by chunks. It's not that the first day you get like the whole statement that you want to say. And it's frustrating when you are trying to manifest your thoughts and ideas into words and you can't.
Exactly. You want to, but you don't have the way how to. And that is one of the things, teacher, we must generate solution for those things.
Definitely, yeah.
That's our task with students is first detect those kind of weakness they have, and secondly, make them strong by creating circumstances where the students feel themselves they are making their own progress. The teacher doesn't teach anything to students. They learn things by themselves.
No,
right now.
Yeah, the kids are not only kids, but I think that 10 out of 5 students that I've worked with, they want to go like a step ahead, and those are the best, because it's really annoying when you finish a class, let's say a Saturday, and you're expecting to see them next Saturday. And to me, it's one of my pet peeves when people wait until next class, next week, to ask you for something that they could have seen or search for, or look up on the internet during the week.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that we must foster into them, to be autonomous.
Exactly.
Not waiting on us, and independent. Not waiting on us to tell them.
I agree with you on that. The thing is, as I tell you, we have been involved at school or in school in English.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have been following different methodology of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have, as Dominican, we are from foreign country, we have to create a way to students just to follow things practical. You know what I do in my classes?
What do you do?
I usually make my classes vivid, practical, and also enjoyable. You know what I do? My students feel fun. They make fun of class. I don't like to teach like a boring teacher just in front of the board with that chalk on
2 hours talking about
repeat after me and do
all this repetition drill.
I don't used to do that.
I don't remember last time I did a repetition drill.
I don't write anything on the board right now. You know what I do? Immediately I step in a class, I start telling my student, hey, come out. And I start clapping and moving from here to there and finding things, and at the same time evaluating their movement to see it. I evaluate students from the beginning. What I do? Immediately I see a student, I want to know how much English they have when they come.
It's really important, the discovery. I call that a discovery.
I am like a spy when he's searching for something. What I do is start immediately, hey, how are you? What's your name? I don't care if even they are studying, they immediately connect with you when you start talking in English to them. And at the same time, that emphasizes them and motivates them how to be in the act. When you do that, you immediately realize what level they have learned and what you can do, what you have to, what path
to follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the procedure?
All the gaps they need
to get the
and produce
goal, to get the goal.
Yeah.
So that is what happening to me so far. I've been very practical with my student. Why? Because if you're practical with your student, you will get a lot of good progress with them, and they will feel even more better when you see through them solution. They react, they feel like happy, they come to you, they say, teacher. Then finally they love you. Yeah. In quotation.
Tell me something. You've been teaching for how long?
Good question. That's a very good question, and I love it. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. If I start telling you about my experience in English, I started to study English when I was 13 years old.
Oh.
That is like 50 years ago.
No way.
Yeah. And then, when I was 15, I immediately became a teacher. First, I used to work in a school named Radiofonica.
The
Santa Maria. Yeah, that is a broadcast school or bachelor and stuff like that.
But most of users, they were like in the countryside, right?
Exactly. They are
outskirts,
suburbs. I used to teach that way using some schemes for correcting the classes.
Oh, yeah.
They use, for example, the radio to transmit the schemes with the students. What happened?
Didn't know that.
And then that was their method. And then at the end of the week, they, by section, by models, they used to get the students.
Oh.
With one person who correct the classes because they have one workbook, let's say.
So you started teaching at the age of 13.
That's correct.
It's been and your English, where did you buy it? No, where did you? How come your English being so fluent, your pace at speaking, your pitch, your tone, everything is so balanced?
Right. It's a very good question. To start answering this question to you, I must say that when I started studying English, let me tell you the truth, I used to visit one neighbor before. By that time, there used to be by correspondence course, national schools. I started using
by mail.
Yeah, I used to receive by mail. I used to receive by mail my lessons in English. But remember, I am very pleased with those courses because those courses were this course by National School I finished, and I graduated from there. 20 lessons, practical English. National School in Los Angeles, California. By that time, I remember there was another school, Hempfield School. I was
it was here in Vega, right?
Hempfield was my name too.
I saw because I remember
Los Angeles.
I remember reading that name on the newspaper, Listín Diario.
They have especially an announce
They had the ad
announce
on
like
the
that every day.
yeah, Listín Diario. I remember
Yeah.
Memphis School. Oh my
Exactly.
baby Jesus, man!
Those years,
We're talking to a dinosaur, so you can have an idea.
very back in years. You know what happened to me? I fell in love with
In the language, yeah.
immediately. I saw that course and the propaganda they used to the promotion of those things, what they used to publish on the newspaper. You know what happened? I loved them because they used to have some samples. For example, I bet that was the first expression I learned in English.
Oh wow!
I bet
The first thing I learned in English was the.
that.
No, it was the because my brother, he was on 8th grade and we had a book and we thought that it was that the pronunciation was che because THE in Spanish we thought was che, but long story. So keep on going. Memphis.
Exactly. I'm talking to you about the schools that existed those years. Some of them disappeared already.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
the creators, maybe they passed away.
Yeah, I think they passed
But
away.
let me tell you,
But the legacy is there.
I don't know if you heard one about Método de Inglés by Juan Marín.
Juan Marín Aguiló. I do have that book. I got it. I got it at
I
home.
have that book with me too. And
I have that
I
book.
love that book. I still use that book, and I refer this book to students. If you want really knows English, study that way because every lesson
The best method that I have
Ever
encountered myself
same
is
thing. Well, we have the
Juan
same-
Ramón Aguiló, right? No, it's not here. Juan Marín Aguiló.
Juan
Yeah.
Marín Aguiló
Man-
was the person who created French methodology because he used to live, I think, in Puerto Rico by that time. But he was, son of a French person, and he became very popular in the United States.
You know that
Another method was, besides national school, very nice English course. I don't know why
I know that.
they did not continue using those programs because of the time. Remember, we used to use records, okay, long play.
Oh, long place.
But in 70s, 80s, and even 85, 90, exist those methods of playing music and recorded things. Soon after that, we received videotape, cassette, VHS systems. I'm telling you, what happened?
Pass me that bag. I will show you something. Keep on. Let me see. Can you reach it? Reach it up.
Here you are.
Keep going.
And to tell you the truth, I'm telling
Wow.
you my story. I have in my house.
Wow.
I have in my house Juan Marín Aguiló. You can.
Man, that's a jewel. That's a jewel.
Yeah, that's a jewel.
A jewel.
That's a jewel. Let me tell you.
Absolutely.
And by Marín Aguiló, I learned intonations, phonetics, I learned grammars, I learned a lot of idiomatic expression. Now they call exact. I have that in my.
You are watching this video and you have no idea what this is.
How important that
Many
is.
kids today, they have
that is-
no idea
Exactly.
what this is for.
You have that,
This is a natural English.
of course.
Yeah.
The best method we have ever seen in our life.
Have you seen
Of
this
course,
before?
Exactly. I saw this. And
Really good.
many school has, many school have come from these methods.
Yeah.
A lot of the workers that went to the United States through those years, they have plenty example and good historic things about English taught by practical, by distance, and that was the first way we started studying English. And I did myself. I studied English, but I never went to any university.
They didn't have a teacher with you telling you how to do this, how to do that.
Exactly. I have never touched a people letting me know, hey, you pronounce this. No, even worse. I used to correct teachers when I used to be at school. When I went to the high school, something happened to me. You know what happened to me when I went to high school?
What happened?
The teachers, my current teacher by that time, they used to call me from my seat, my desk. Hey, come on, write down this, then correct this exercise. My teacher was sitting on his desk, watching the student and watching me teaching. But I felt very good and very well by that time because they gave me the opportunity.
I would have felt the same.
That's why I became a teacher, a real teacher. I'm not, and to tell you the truth, through the time.
I am in awe.
Exactly.
I am in awe.
Let me tell you this. When I finished those courses, you know what I did? There was one school here in La Vega named Olympic English School.
Hold on right there. I am 43.
I am 62.
So basically it's like 20 years gap.
Yeah.
Right? 1920. Yeah. Which one did you mention now?
I just mentioned Olympic English School.
Olympic English School. Was it located on
Banreservas, where
Banreservas is right now?
Exactly.
Let me tell you this.
Be there.
It was 1980,
87, 88.
Hello, everybody. You're watching Los Teachers Live. By the way, subscribe, like, and share. You're going to love this series. Today we're with Domingo Reyes.
Reyes.
In English, yeah. A great professor. We're recording this, and thank you for sharing, for liking everything. And Domingo, Olympic English School. I do remember that I used to live in one block from here. I used to live on Manolo Baldo Gomez Street, right? You know these people at Papi Espejo?
Of course.
I used to live just right across the street.
You know, Papi Espejo, I think he died.
I think he did.
Let me tell you, Papi. Let's change the subject by the moment, but we will get back to the point.
Yeah.
You know, Papi Espejo used to create espejo at Barrio X.
And he did the mirrors?
Yeah, he used to make mirrors.
Wow, because I thought they bought mirrors and they just cut it out.
No, he used to work with mirrors. Wow. And he was a carpenter too. I remember by that time he has a very beautiful daughter. And I don't know, because I was also, very young person, but I usually, as a teacher, I used to be, and my behavior with those things were really, very formal, distance and stuff like that. But we made friends each other. That's what I remember from Papi Espejo.
And Papi Espejo, yeah.
But to come back to get back to the point, to tell you, Olympic School was established here in La Vega from one person, who is my friend, named Raymond Astacio Jorge. Everybody here in La Vega met that person. Yeah. And I became at that school vice or sub-director of that school.
Were you?
Yeah, I used to follow him. When he was away, I usually took care of that school. And I don't know if you have heard about one method of English named New English 900. New English 900 was one of the best also method by that time created. And it consisted in a long story about one person who came from India and get to United States and became a secret agent and used to be a vendor, an ice cream vendor, I remember. And from the beginning of that course to the end, that course was with 6 levels. When they finish those 6 levels, they have to go into conversation classes, advanced English, and we did that. You know how many students we graduated at that school by that time?
How many?
350 students.
Wow.
Let me tell you, we held the ceremony in a place everybody knew in La Vega, named the casino.
Oh, Casino Central. Yeah.
I remember that I applied and I got the permission from those
To use that.
three
To use
to
the.
celebrate
Wow.
that big ceremony. You know what we did? We invited a musical band of La Vega from the firemen.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We invited,
La banda
Marino
municipal.
Concepcion. I don't know.
I know Marino Concepcion.
Special people working at
Yeah,
those ceremonies.
he's a voiceover. He's a journalist.
But,
I love Marino Concepcion.
let me tell you this. We were together. The director and I, we made an agenda about doing that. It was something that I did by myself when I was 28 years only. And I felt, I'm directing a program by myself. I feel very good because that guy gave me the support
Yeah.
that I needed because I became a teacher in that place. They gave me the opportunity to learn and to progress with my English because by the time I studied national school, I didn't feel I was well prepared to teach. And I felt like a little bit shy. Not shy. I felt that I was not prepared.
That you were not like.
And I was conscious that I was not prepared. So I asked him, give me the chance so that I can get a real teacher. And he did that. We stayed for 4 years there. Soon after we finished that graduation, we had some inconvenience because that place was rented and the owner sold the place with that school there. That was another story.
With the school dawning.
Exactly.
Because I remember walking. I used to live just a block from here.
Okay.
Exactly 300 meters from here.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
And my brother and I, we used to walk around,
to hang around for those places
things,
because
as a teen, not even a teen, I was like 8 to 10. And I remember going around where Banco de Reservas is right now. And I remember hearing the repetition drills, which was common by the time, the way to teach and this.
I remember those substitution drills. There in that book, I saw, and I really study a lot of intonations. For example, you see, we have some intonation have three ways.
Yeah.
3 sounds like low, medium, and high. For instance, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
So how is a low sound and R is a medium sound and you could be a little bit high. How are you? And then I remember that we have intonation from every book has intonation at the end, and we used to use recorded tape just to listen. Just to make the student to create a listening.
And the habits and
exactly the same thing. I learned by using tape. Every time I used to take the student, they call lab oratory.
The lab. But it was not into this method they use when I worked with them.
Exactly.
We had an English lab where people were exposed to listen because of the intonation. This is important that many people, for open and close questions, when your intonation rises at the end, or when you have to lower it at the end. And many people,
they don't know how to even singers. They have to know intonation.
They must.
Because if I speak and I don't have a balance in my sound, I sound distorted. And that's really bad.
Can you pick?
Let me come back to the point and continue telling.
Like this. No.
Exactly. They don't have up and down levers.
Yeah.
And that's
going back to the story.
Yeah, let me continue telling. Let me tell you about that. What happened to me by that time, we were there from... I was there from 1984 to 1988.
Yeah, 4 years.
But at the same time, I was English teacher at Don Luis de Pradel High School
You taught at Don Luis del Prader?
Yes,
During the
I
day.
used to be high school English teacher at Domingo Reyes for 2 years because since at the same time I was teaching there, I used to be insurance company salesman
Oh,
along with class.
You sold insurances.
Yes, I would. I don't know. By that time, there was a insurance company name. The name was Plan Hogar Latino that Freddy Verasgoico used to
Advertise
promote
today.
and advertise those
Yeah.
places. That company, that bank, or that company, that insurance company came from Venezuela from that time, a long time. And then I used to be at the same time for 1 year. That was in 1985. But at the same time, I worked at Casa Teruel with Diego Teruel, and I became there, I worked there as an assistant of accounting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for 1 year.
But you worked in
I was a teacher. Let me tell you, I'm telling you
Go ahead.
as a teacher, at the same time, I used to sell insurance.
Insurance, a broker, insurance brokerage.
Yeah, that's a brokerage. And at the same time, I used to,
You worked as
I was
assistant accountant.
book,
Yeah, bookkeeper.
a bookkeeper. These books, they told you, they taught us. Bookkeeper, I used to be a bookkeeper that time at the same time.
Wow.
And after that, I got a job from Free Zone here in La Vega.
At the old free zone?
Yeah, from Olympic English School. Somebody
Jumped.
I jumped out there. From Olympic English School, I went to Free Zone to work with Korean
Which
company.
one? Was it?
SMC is the name. They are still
Is it
in
checkpoint? No.
It's in front of Checkpoint. Okay. Do you know what I became there?
What?
Office manager.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me tell you. As an office manager, I used to do a lot of tasks in that place. One, human resources in charge, salesperson, purchase department, account. Two person we directed that company for more. I worked there for 6 years.
6 years.
6 years, and I became a key, as the one that used to tell me, you're the key guy here.
Yeah.
Translate every time, the owner come from the United States, I have to go to the airport, pick him up,
Bring him.
and also prepare everything.
Yeah.
Every time he has a meeting with the meeting or whatever,
You were interpreter.
exactly. And I used to handle all kind of administration, manage all kind of administration things. I did, and I learned there. I became like a manager, but in the area of office. What happened to me? I worked there for 6 years. Then I found a job at other free zone company.
Yeah, in the same place.
In the same area, named Grupo Batista. I don't know if you heard about Casa Amarilla.
Oh, they were on the free
They
zone
have
too?
4 factories at free zone.
Gotta be kidding me. You're pulling my leg.
They did. Yes. I'm not pulling your leg. You know what happened to me? They hired me from the place I used to work from Korea. They called me to work as a shipper department.
Yeah, for the shipping.
Yeah, for shipping area, for factory. I worked at the same time
Wow.
moving containers,
Containers. Yeah, with all the.
receiving container, and doing a lot of things in that place.
You were into logistics.
Exactly. For example, make an invoice, receive and get information for charging everything
Yeah.
produced. I used to work along with accounting department, but my section was independent from those areas. I gave them information, and I knew that. Nobody gave me any order when I was there. I told them, listen, nobody, not even the owner, can come here and tell me what to do. I was there like
You were like the head CEO.
look, I'm saying this because it was true. After that, when I finished, that was in 1994, they closed down those places. You know what happened to me? They didn't lay off anybody. They didn't even fire anybody because suddenly they closed the companies. They fell down. They went in red.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? A lot of people lost a lot of money for that reason. Even me, I didn't charge anything. Then, 1995, I remember I went to other free zone factory like Checkpoint.
Yeah.
They called me to work there as a, they call clerk, cheaper clerk.
The clerk,
Same
yeah.
thing.
You were dealing with the customs and
Exactly.
everything, the shipping, yeah.
And also to make the shipment from Dominican Republic to Europe. They don't ship to the United States.
To the States.
Checkpoint works for companies who works and operates at Europe. And then you know what happened? The person who was in charge of the department I went,
Yeah.
she was pregnant, about to give birth.
Yeah.
You know what the manager told me? You are going to
You replace her.
You're going to replace this girl.
replaced.
She's going to be out of the continent, and I am giving you the opportunity for you to handle this. But he knew me. He knew
He knew
who I was.
And what you were capable of.
Exactly. He told me, listen, and you know what I have to learn in a week. Everything. She did
The processes.
I did it.
Yeah.
And you know what happened that year? That lady went to the United States. You know, you remember in 2001, one plane
The crowd.
that came from the United States to Dominica and crashed.
Like, I think it was in Queens. The plane crashed.
Exactly. There were 300 and something Dominicans,
Yeah.
and she was there and died.
No way.
Yeah, man. She was there and died.
Oh,
You know who
that's
she
sad. That's
was?
sad.
She was one of my students from Olympic wife. His name is you see the company that is near at the entrance of Yucatesi, Gomas Bello.
Yes, I know.
Bello was the husband of that person that I'm saying to you. And I remember her, like, I don't forget her face.
Yeah, that was flight 587.
Exactly. That was the flight who
Yeah.
was down or crashed down. And then finally after that, I remember I went to work for different company at the free zone. After I finished there,
I did work for 5-star.
you were
I did.
I worked for 5-star too.
I did 2 jobs at all free zone. I did one like 3, 4, 5 months. I can't remember. Can't tell.
What there?
A checkpoint. I was assembling
I know.
some coils or something.
No, coil.
Yeah.
No, I went there, I told you, at checkpoint, but I was working in, managed department.
The man.
I became,
No, I was on the floor.
no, I went to but you know what happened to me there? I fell asleep at 9 a.m. in the morning there. Just no music, no nothing. I think I was at a church. I lasted there 1 month because, immediately I was there, I was watching my coworkers and I started sleeping like this in a half an hour. They realized and they told me, what happened to me? I said, I'm sorry.
I can't do this.
I don't know. I am very busy, very.
Yeah, you're more active. You
And then
busy.
I used to go to the floor just to check.
So, yeah,
Couldn't stand. I didn't.
which is different. If offices are just quiet.
And then, I finished there. After that, I went 1997, I remember. I went to 5-star. They hired me there.
I did.
I worked for
I think
production department there.
2001, I think I did 5-star. I was on the floor cutting
Yeah, I knew.
the leather and stuff
Leather.
for the boots for
They were
for
for
the army.
Rockies.
Yeah, rock.
They have Corner Star. I know all those ties. You know why? Because I used to work also in production department for shipping.
I met there at 5-star a guy.
Who you met?
I can't remember the names.
Well,
but I was a guy.
I am going to mention.
A guy that came from the States. He was a tall black guy. He worked for, I think it was Rocky, the boots for the U.S. Army. And
Rookie bugs. You know what they're doing now? They have bottoming department now. Maybe you don't know. Because they only use the upper part of the shoes.
Yeah.
Now they have another floors, another plants, another factory to complete the process. They are making the boot complete.
the whole thing.
Exactly. You know how they call that? Bottoming department.
Oh, yeah.
That's a new area. And I used to work in that area. And I remember they created a computer system using labels just to scan information for shipping. Very easy.
Yeah.
That's a easy cake.
You see, then there's something like summarizing everything regarding
My life.
your English.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's your life.
Very related because of my English, I have been to those places.
There I go. Many people, you are watching this video. I want to encourage you. I'm running these videos in English because it's like I told you a while ago, to foster English speaking. If people know the potential, the broad world of business, commerce, reading, history, art,
it's very
related to English, they would open up their souls and minds to learning.
And they become somebody else.
You know Edgar Mackenzie?
Of course, very close friend.
Edgar was here a few weeks ago, and I interviewed him, and we talked. We talked.
Mackenzie's a very good guy.
He's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, you related?
Not directly,
Relative.
we're not relatives. But my mom and his mother, grandma and his mom, we went to attend the same church. You know, Templo Evangelico.
Yeah, I know.
We grew up there, and we've been friends ever since.
Okay.
But yeah, something that I wanted to say, it's before it slips my mind. English opened 1,000 doors to him, so to you and to me and many people. And what we're looking for is that you enroll into learning English anywhere you want to. It could be with me, it could be with Domingo. By the way, you're teaching privately, are you?
Yes, right now I am using social media to teach English. For instance, we have Zoom conferences.
Yeah.
We have GetMe or GetC.
Yeah.
A lot of
resources that we use.
You know, right now I have some students but advanced English, conversation, just for getting fluent. They are even studying at colleges, studying languages, and they don't feel they are learning anything. That's what we are saying. We know as a teacher for a long time the problem with the students. We have to face those problems, find solutions, and create our own way to teach. That's what I've been doing. I changed many things that I knew, and I am implementing new things so that people can feel really in an area where they are learning English. I become my classes as if they are in a dance area, in a party area, something like that. You know what I told my students? Listen, you are going to create a conversation for different things. Create a conversation where you have a problem with one student. And then, you know, I create some kind of script.
Oh, yeah.
We create a script. You know what happened? I tell them, you are going to create this kind of problem. You are going to talk about that. Somebody died in a hospital and they
you assign
the different roles.
Yeah.
What happened? What you see when they come with their own experience, live with them, they feel really nice. Why? Because they see themselves. They do what you tell them to do. And then that's my way to teach English right now.
I'm using this space to teach. We're running this interview right now at Home English Learning Center. We are located. Señores, si usted quiere aprender inglés, tiene dos opciones ahora mismo que les voy a presentar. Home English Learning Center. Yeah. Suscríbase a este video, a este canal, dele like, comparta. Home English Learning Center está en Antonio Guzmán, número 87, al lado del parqueo de la tienda Sahel. Que ahorita le pongo, hay una imagen, para que usted pueda ver. Otra forma, si usted quiere aprender inglés directamente, Domingo.
Gracias.
Si es avanzado. Vamos a aprovechar para Domingo, para you can share your phone number. ¿Quién la gente te contacta? Alguien que quiera tomar conversación avanzada, que has estado trabajando.
Correcto.
¿Cómo te puedo contactar?
Esa es mi área actual. Permítame decir, por ejemplo, lo voy a decir en español porque ya cambiamos. Nosotros estamos trabajando actualmente en un CATESI en el área de escuela de idiomas, pero como escuela, no como universidad, como escuela de idiomas, y trabajamos ahí los sábados de 8 a 12. Eso es ya diferente. Pero las clases que yo doy a nivel
Porque son
privado
privadas.
son clases privadas para personas, por ejemplo, que están interesadas en mejorar su nivel de conversación, aprender cosas que no se la dieron en ninguno de esos cursos, a manejar, por ejemplo, el nivel conversacional, a hablar de tópicos o temas que sean relacionados con su carrera, a conocer cosas que usted no la ha visto aun cuando usted viajó o no viajó. Todas esas cosas las manejamos dentro de nuestro programa de enseñanza. Estamos a sus órdenes, me pueden contactar en el teléfono 829-327-5304. Mi teléfono y mi WhatsApp, pueden localizarme ahí, estamos a sus órdenes. Me agrada mucho y agradezco mucho a Robinson que me dio la oportunidad de poder participar en esta entrevista que me he sentido como si yo estuviera en mi casa y he dicho cosas que a nadie yo se le he dicho, porque Robinson sí me conoce hace unos años a través de Cecité, que fuimos compañeros de clase,
No, pero
pero no tuvimos la oportunidad de compartir tanto por la situación de que eran horarios, ya tú sabes, uno salía muerto de ahí de cansancio.
corres.
Ya a las 12 para volver a las 2 otra vez era un desastre. Pero sí le agradezco mucho a Robinson y estoy a sus órdenes también en cualquier cosa que él entienda, que si juntos podemos crear un proyecto, pues que sea viable, porque nosotros tenemos que trabajar para esa cosa y unirnos, porque otra de las cosas débiles que tenemos como maestros, que los maestros de inglés somos como nómadas. Yo no sé qué es lo que pasa.
I tell you what, I've reached out more than 20 English teachers, and most of them are reluctant to come and sit down and have a talk.
They don't feel like.
I mean, somebody told me, "Oh, I'm a little shy in front of the camera," and I was like, "Wait a minute! You teach English. You are in front of a class, in front of people. You know what? I am shy myself. I can tell you, but not in front of my
Of
students."
course, like, how can you show confidence in front of? How can they see you back and check that you are the person to follow them?
You can't be a leader as a teacher, professor,
You gotta be
guy
careful with
if
that.
you say that you're shy.
Of
No.
course not.
I am shy when it comes to personal things, dealing with people and stuff. It's more like I measure myself. I try not to be like way too
Not
deeper.
proud or pretending or what, show off. We can't be that way.
But when it comes
We
to
have to be
teaching,
humble.
you need to
Let
be.
me tell you, I am very, aligned with you, with the way you think, because I am very similar to you in those particular things.
Yeah,
I am
okay,
very
appreciate it.
respectful for those things, and I commend them when I find somebody that is in my level of understanding.
Yeah.
And just to finish my conversation, I know maybe the time.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
But let me tell
we get
I work in a printing area.
No,
You know Imprenta Riquillo, right?
no, yeah.
I worked there since that was my first work, my first job.
Your first job?
I went there in 1981, just when I started at the University of UNFU. I studied education at the University of UNFU. I became philosophy and letters license, let's say as Dominican.
Yeah.
But I need to say philosophy and letters degree is in English. But in English, exactly.
Yeah.
I became also a philosophy and letters degree at UNFU. And also I studied accounting there, and I became an accountant or an auditing.
It all makes sense. Then your English is been a plus on everything that you do.
But because, I have a story language, and I know all, grammar process, I know from the very beginning to the end. Even literature, we study that also. So I have read a lot of English, a lot of e-books, not only in English, but in Spanish as well. And also that's why I feel a little bit more open-minded speaking, not so, that shy, not. But, and then I worked for 4 years at Imprenta Riquín. That's my background. You know what happened there? They received a very special machine from the United States. You know, in 1984, 83, they brought one American guy from there, and I was the only person who knew some English by that time, because I told you, I was really studying national school courses. And with that course, I stepped ahead to those, and they gave me the chance to translate everything.
Everything from.
You know what I learned? I learned mechanics tool.
Oh, yeah.
Mechanic tool, all names of things in English.
Vocabulary related to that.
That guy, you know how old was that person who came from Chicago? It was like 60 years something by that time. And he speaks English very different from, Chicago. They speak English, wow. And his name was Jack. And they stayed in at Hotel Guaricano by that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Jack used to,
he used to drink.
Move a lot of beer. I think when he
went back to the States.
No, when he came from the hotel to work, the smell of beers was in her mouth.
Yeah.
And thing is that he taught me a lot of good English and corrected me, because by that time there were a lot of things that he handled and I didn't know, because I was not related.
And you have no access to.
I learned how to say a hammer, all kind of tools.
And we didn't, back in the days, you didn't have the internet, which is a
noise
first.
We didn't have on hand information.
Yeah.
Even by that time, we became like guesser in English sometimes.
And I tell you, that experience that you lived, it was enlightening, because I have worked with Edgar and many projects. Yes, with doctors, dentists, different professionals that they've come from the States. They come from time to time.
Okay.
And I worked with them as interpreter. And when you interpret, that they talk to you, that you're running these conversations and everything, it's not a job, it's a learning process.
It's something that we live.
That's the best.
That's my point,
You just grab it.
Exactly. Like as if you were, a kind of computer.
That's right.
At the POSI area. And then that's what happened to me. I've been involved in English, but acquiring all kind of information. And so far, right now, I am still studying things, because TikTok, if you look at TikTok.
Oh, you're in TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
I am very into TikTok. Everything in English, I read it, and I have a special file where I am filing those information just to create a bank, a database for
database.
I'm doing that. You know why? Because there are a lot of things that I am lacking from certain things that I don't know.
Yeah.
So what happened to me, I am trying to update every day English, but I never forget. And even my English, I have to keep studying it.
Right, yeah.
That's what's happening.
Absolutely.
And then when I am listening to people talking to me, so I don't know, without I realizing or unconsciously, I correct them. But I don't correct, hey, you said this wrong. No, I just say correctly so that the person realizes it. But I don't say, hey, you do this wrong, or you would know that's wrong.
And I'm always open to corrections. Also.
Exactly. You know what happened to me? I usually, let me tell you, finally, 2005, you remember Hospital Traumatológico?
Yeah, you did work at the
for 10 years. You know what I did there?
What?
Immediately I got there, I have still in my hand, I have the position, the position allocated by Leonel Fernandez and his signature in my, how do you say, nombramiento, in my position as a, I became there in charge of assets, accounting assets, activo fijo. And besides that, after that, I worked in auditing department.
Oh, you were
Man, I learned there a lot of things, but I have a lot of work with me because they saw that I was very, very responsible and very active that everything they gave it
They
to me.
canalize it to you.
Yeah, do this. And then my boss just to sign. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
We have to do this. Tell Domingo to do it. I used to do it because I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a job. They gave me a special
A recognition.
yeah. I have in my house. I spent there 10 years. They fired me because of Danilo. You know, Leonel was the president.
Yeah.
Danilo changed everything.
And
That's
that's
why
personal.
PLD is down now, because they forced people from their own political party. They became those persons. They betrayed those persons and created that problem that happened to me. So from that moment on, I started immediately to think very different from those people. I don't want to know anything about PLD. I'm telling you this because what happened to
What happened to you?
I've been out of work for those people. A person very well prepared, and I have been, put aside, and that's what happened to me. And what happened to me, that I don't have, for example, the resources, for open my own program. I have never had, not even my family have helped me to
run your own project and stuff. Yeah.
If I knew English, it is because by myself I study. If I am what I am right now, it is because all of me. See, I'm not talking about my family.
No, you're not.
We are all the same. I am living with my mother, and I live there as if I were a single, simple person with my friend. I treat them not with knowledge, not staying in there. No, man. I just live there, and I don't do things. I don't behave like,
improper.
I try to be humble in my house. Even though what I am, I don't care, but I respect them because I want them to point out me as a person that I am not.
Right.
I'm telling you this even in an interview just because this is my life and I can hide anything from me.
Yeah.
Because I think I haven't done
And I respect that. Absolutely.
anything wrong along what I'm doing. So, but I appreciate it, and I say it again because this is really important to me. No, I haven't done this because I don't have this kind of problem, and the place is very suitable for things like that.
I appreciate it.
If you want to point out something or ask me another question, but my English data from more than 40 years, and I still study. Let me tell you, I'm still studying. You know what I'm doing right now?
What you up to?
I'm at to the court.
Oh, yeah.
Labor court in La Vega. Right now, I am as a vocal in that area.
Oh, yeah.
So you see the court, the judge, and the other person. I sit next to the judge just to stand for the plaintiff, one of the other person.
Yeah.
And, I'm doing that, but you don't make money. That is just a service, a special service.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that in my life right now. This is for me another new, things to learn about, and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing. My life is being learning processes.
Once you engage into learning and you see and you feel and you live the benefits out of it,
Exactly.
die with that. I mean, the learning process is something that never stops.
You know what?
Stops
I
once
love this.
you die.
That's my life. My life have been learning and learning.
It's never stop.
Never
It's not
stop. Never stop.
It's not.
But that's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
It's very important.
it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. And when you are in that world or that environment, then nobody is approaching to you by any circumstance or influence you in other ways because you have your own principle, your own way,
And you guide yourself through that.
your own concepts and perception that you have.
Yeah.
So it means that, I don't know, this guy looks very mysterious,
Yeah.
It's a mystery guy. I don't know. You never see along that person together or talking or drinking or do.
Yeah. Domingo, I appreciate it that you've been with us here, going through your life story. It's inspiring and wow, first person I've ever met that studied through the postal service. I know that exists,
That's my beginning.
and we have so much to cover for next time.
I'll try.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I
It's
think
my pleasure.
from now you maybe you will have another kind of mentality with me. I don't know what prejudice you have before.
Never had, never will, never been. Thank you very much.
It's good to be with you.
Thank you for watching Los Teachers. Remember, subscribe, like, and share. SLS. Suscríbase, like y compartan. Muchas gracias por observar Los Teachers and have a good one.